What's up, fellow crustaceans? Today we're talking about wife swap. We're gonna be going through the trenches in this one, swimming through the psychological warfare that this show displays.
I think you should come in here and help me.
I appreciate the fact that you're the strong woman, but think about making some food, okay?
If you're unfamiliar with wife swap, here's how it works. Two families swap wives, and these families are completely opposite to each other in some way. For example, there's an episode where one wife believes a woman's only place is in the kitchen, and the other wife has a job and is her own boss. So naturally, they hate each other and have a terrible time. Now let me explain how the swap works. The wife swap starts with each wife going to the opposite family's home and taking a look around for a couple of hours before their new family arrives. They get to read a manual left behind by the original wife that serves as a guide to living there. The swap lasts a week, and the guide outlines the lifestyle they need to expect for this week. And usually when they read it, this is where they start freaking out because they realize just how opposite this new family is to them.
2 boys and 1 girl. And all the kids love tarot cards and Ouija boards. This is dangerous.
Some of these people are just so bizarre that I 100% believe they are NPCs. There's a lady we'll talk about later who basically believes vegetable oil is poison.
When I opened your pantry, I saw the biggest offender in Western diet: vegetable oil.
Partway through the experiment, the wives stop living by the family's old rules and they get to impose their way of living onto the new home. And needless to say, this creates a lot of tension. So we're going to be looking at the vegetable oil lady, the women in the kitchen wife swap, and 2 other families on this show. Because the people on this show are so odd that it's just all unbelievable, honestly. Now before we get into it, let's take a moment to thank this video's sponsor, Atlas VPN. These days on the internet, VPNs are a lifesaver. From getting access to all the shows you want to watch around the world, protecting your data from others, having a VPN is incredibly worth your time. I live in Canada, and recently because of the Batman movie, I got a craving to go back and watch Joker. It wasn't on Canadian Netflix, but with the help of Atlas VPN, I was able to connect to Australia and watch it from there. I know a lot of my viewers are American, so pro tip, right now Shrek isn't on American Netflix, but all the movies are on Canadian Netflix. I think you know what to do. In addition to the entertainment possibilities, Atlas VPN has other features. My personal favorite is their data breach monitor. It automatically scans leaked databases and lets you know if any of your information like email addresses, usernames, or passwords were exposed, ready for hackers to take. Atlas VPN can work on literally any device with no limit, so Atlas VPN can protect all your devices with one subscription. So if you want to be safe and not exposed online, Atlas VPN is waiting for you. Using my link in the description, you can get it at a steal for just $1.99 a month for 3 years with a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's the best deal on the market right now. Thank you, Atlas VPN, for sponsoring this video. All right, let's talk about Nutrition Karen. Her problems don't just stop at being terrified of vegetable oil. She's pretty much a holier-than-thou type of gal. Right when she gets into the other family's house to explore, she is disturbed because this family has a kid who plays video games and watches TV.
Boys.
I don't even let my kids play video games.
Oh, they have a TV in their bedroom.
I definitely would not allow a TV in my kid's bedroom.
Her main disgust, though, comes when she sees the pantry. She thinks that giving your kid processed food is literally the worst thing you could do to a child.
What are they eating? See some processed foods. Oh my gosh, why do we want to do that to our children?
So later on in the episode, this wife meets the other wife and she starts preaching to her in the most condescending manner possible, where she starts going off on a speech that just sounds like a clickbait nutrition ad.
The biggest offender in Western diet: vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is in all your fried foods. It's in your chicken nugget. When I watch my kids eat things that I know are loaded with processed preservatives and all those things, it makes me cringe.
I would have thought the biggest offender in Western diets is Ronald McDonald. Nutrition Karen may be overdramatic, but you haven't seen anything yet. Let's talk about the next swap. Alright, here we have an interesting matchup. Let's talk about the families. Family number 1 consists of 3 kids, a stay-at-home dad, and a wife who is an influencer and her own boss. Family number 2 has a wife who thinks women shouldn't work or be the boss of anything at all. In her manual she left behind for the other wife, she literally writes that women should be seen, not heard.
I believe in old-fashioned family values. Women need to be seen and not heard.
Her husband is a biker guy who goes by the name Tombstone and also believes that his wife should not be a human being first, but basically a maid above all else. Right away when the wives start the swap, they're both completely baffled by the other's existence. During the house tour, the stay-at-home wife is already starting to lose it.
Dirty dishes in the sink. I want to do them so bad. Doing the dishes. That is a woman's place.
She's so obsessed with saying this, she's like an NPC with one line of dialogue. I refuse to believe people like her can be found in the wild. When she starts reading the guidebook left behind by the influencer wife, she gets so upset by what she's seeing that she starts trying to eat her own face.
Luckily, KP is not only my husband, but my manager, but I'm the boss. KP and I basically share chores in the household. King of the house cleans his home. I think the king of the house should be able to enjoy his home, not clean it.
So this is a false dichotomy. She thinks there's only two options here: no clean and be happy, and then clean and be miserable. I get she's an NPC, but hear me out. What if a third option could exist, like clean and be happy? Surely the concept that you can clean and still enjoy life shouldn't escape her. It really shouldn't, since she thinks it's her whole life mission to clean and serve someone. I mean, if she automatically connects the concept of cleaning to a lack of enjoyment, wouldn't that imply that she's miserable since that's what she mainly does? Tragic. Her absurdity doesn't end there. In her manual left behind for the influencer wife, she writes that there's a Puss in Boots-ification of America, minus the "and boots" part, and that stay-at-home dads suck.
There is a pussification of America. Men don't know how to be men anymore. Don't get me or Tombstone started at stay-at-home dads.
They are apparently the worst thing to exist. If a dad cleans, takes care of the house, or gets involved with the kids in any way, it is catastrophic to her. Her manual is more so a manifesto for why her and her husband Tombstone think stay-at-home dads are killing America. When the time comes for the husband and kids to arrive at home, she looks deeply uncomfortable because this guy is nothing like her husband. When she tries making conversation with him, she looks like she's being threatened, like her self-proclaimed purpose in life is being threatened by this guy just being secure with himself and taking on responsibility.
You're big on the whole helping with the children.
Oh yeah, every day.
I am the main child care
Oh, okay.
and house cleaner and person in the kitchen because that is a woman's place.
No.
She's talking down to him and stating this as if it's an objective fact and he has failed in life just because he helps out around the house. Honestly, at this rate, I'm convinced that above all else, she's just trying to convince herself that this is how things are. Her whole worldview and sense of security is being completely threatened by this guy just existing. And then the final straw for her is when she finds out this dad is vegan and his reasons for being vegan.
I've only been vegan since February.
And what was your deciding factor?
My wife asked me to.
His wife asked him to.
Now, I thought she hated the whole vegan thing, and especially the wife asked me to reason, because she associates veganism with femininity and everything a man shouldn't be. Because to my understanding, veganism has a femininity stereotype attached to it. So I thought, okay, she hates vegan men because man do man thing or he's not a man. But turns out in her household, it's not that veganism is associated with femininity, it's that eating healthy in general is just something her husband won't do.
So you don't do any chores?
No.
You don't cook or clean or...
No.
And you don't eat healthy at all?
No.
So we have her giving him a line of questioning, right? And it's got insert feminine coded thing here, insert feminine coded thing here, and then she asks him if he eats healthy. So if we go with the established pattern, I guess eating healthy is not alpha male now? So if you're a guy watching this and you want to eat healthy, you're gonna have to put that on hold. That's not very Chad-like. The road to alpha starts with death. If you're not sitting there chugging a pint of melted butter, beer, and blood while devouring a turkey leg the size of your head, you're not a man. Plain and simple. It comes time for the rule swap, and both wives are pretty predictable. The influencer one tells the husband that he now has to do chores. He's actually not too bad about it. He didn't really put up much of a fight like one of the people we're talking about later. As for the other wife in the swap, She goes crazy with the rule changes. To sum it up, she's basically treating the house like a turf war and that the kitchen is her sacred place no one else may enter.
Number 1, the kitchen is a woman's place.
Can't even go in the fridge.
No
get a drink of
one,
water.
and I mean no one, goes into my kitchen.
That's a little difficult. I'm an involved father.
No.
She's basically acting like a gatekeeper for a sacred artifact based on how possessive she is. Let's get to the next swap. Up next in the ring, we have family number 1, a Christian household whose wife specializes in warfare on demons.
I actually specialize in the art of casting out evil spirits.
Specialize in the spiritual warfare, and we cast out demons and devils.
And for family number 2, we have a pagan household. The wife and everyone in this household practices witchcraft, with the husband being a demonolator. Basically, we got a witch who's going to be interacting with a Christian dad, terrified of other religions, and a Christian woman who loves slaying demons, interacting with a dad who loves working with demons. It's a treat. Right away when the wives walk into each other's homes and read the manuals, they're both terrified of what's to come.
I just like to call myself a witch. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it.
We also specialize in the spiritual warfare, and we cast out demons and devils. That's insane.
All the kids love tarot cards and Ouija boards. This is dangerous. Don't even want bigoted people in the house. Well, I don't want witches in mine.
Odd note here, but I find it kind of funny how she didn't really deny being a bigot. She just kind of skipped over that denial thing and went straight to attack mode.
Your house is different. What would you call your family as far as like religion?
Not for the faint of heart.
I would just like to take this time to comment on how bizarre of a matchup this is. How did Wife Swap even find these people? How did they even get this matchup? The Christian mom, you know, I kind of get it. There's probably tons of them out there who specialize in casting out demons. But to find a pagan family with a dad specializing in demon work is so rare. Because here's the thing, I feel a lot of you watching this probably don't know a lot about paganism or anything about demonolatry. And I'll try to explain to the best of my ability. Paganism is a really hard to define label because it means so many different things to different people based on who you ask. It's basically practicing divine faith outside of mainstream religions. Some people put more of a focus on the earth or earth magic, some put a focus on astrology, some focus on manifestation, some do rituals, others don't. The pantheon of deities different pagans believe in may include Greek, Roman, Norse, or it may be none of those. It really varies person to person. The way everyone practices and what they believe in is different. It's like an umbrella term. And when it comes to demonolatry, the practice that deals with invoking demons to help you with different purposes, that's really rare, because there's a lot of pagans who still hold the belief that demons are evil and not to be touched. The majority of the pagan community, I'd say, is not super enthusiastic or even focused on demons. So to not just find a pagan household to stick this lady in, but to find a pagan household with a demonolator who worships and works with demons to be on this show is just crazy. When the families finally meet, this dad gets so scared of the witch that he takes his kids upstairs in some attempt to flee from her. Meanwhile, the pagans are being bored and sarcastic. The demon fighter weirdly makes a grab for the pagan daughter so she can give her a comforting hug or something, but really this isn't a hug. She's not so subtly trying to do what she believes she does best. She's trying to exorcise some demons. Let's get to the next swap. Entering the ring, we have a mom who's a fire battalion chief, and in the other corner, we have a wife who believes her husband is the head of the household and needs to be catered to. It's kind of a similar situation to the first swap we discussed, where one wife has a pretty busy job and the other one is her husband's maid, but there's a lot of differences between this group and the first one, because with this one, it's the husband who's insufferable, not her. I mean, well, actually they're both kind of odd, but she's the lesser of two evils. One of the weird parts of this family is that they're kind of like Mother Gothel. In the manual, it says that these kids aren't allowed to leave their rooms unless they get permission to.
Our children are not allowed out of their rooms unless they knock first to get permission.
When the fire battalion chief finally meets the new family she's swapped with, the husband right out the gate doesn't spend much time with small talk. He pretty much goes straight into asking weird questions and insulting her job.
Welcome to our house.
Thank you.
Are you part Indian? What kind of work do you do?
I'm a battalion chief of the fire department, one of the largest in Metro Atlanta.
Firefighters, they're always sitting around playing cards, doing nothing.
I think we all know that firefighters are pretty essential. I don't think I need to elaborate on how vital the service they provide is and how the job is dangerous and deserves respect. I thought it would have been like a basic idea any human brain could agree on, but I guess not. This guy is proving himself already to be an absolute buffoon. His audacity knows no bounds. But he really crosses a weird line though, when he starts talking about how girls should wear makeup and how she in particular should look nice for him.
You see women that wear absolutely no makeup at all, and they might need a little something, something. My wife, she'll put on makeup before I get home and look all nice.
I normally don't.
Well, we'll see how you look tomorrow.
I don't know what to say. The situation's hopeless. I think he missed the memo. See, wife swap is called wife swap, but it's mainly about swapping moms. It's about swapping wives who have kids and a house to take care of, to see how they'll react in an opposite home environment. It's not about actually swapping your wife around so you can have romance with someone else. So him wanting her to look nice for him is just a really weird line to cross. His priorities are in the wrong place if he's needing her to look pretty for him. When she finally gets to make the new rules in the house, she tells him he has to do chores, and he can't take it. He can't even do a single chore in front of her. Instead, he just storms off and throws a fit.
Not gonna do this.
Oh, please.
Okay?
I'll be standing right here.
Nope. Well, here we go again. No, this is over.
I didn't even say anything to you.
No, I'm really not doing this if she's standing there, for real.
What is the problem?
Here's the thing, he's one of those guys who's trying to be an alpha male, only doing things that are considered macho and avoiding anything feminine at all. And honestly, he should have just sucked it up and dealt with the chores. Because for this kind of guy trying to build his whole reputation on having a tough exterior and being a real tough, strong kind of guy, for him to throw a tantrum and run away, trying to hide from a dishwasher on national television, that has to undo the entire reputation he tried building for himself. I mean, he ran from a dishwasher. That's gotta be negative 800 alpha points. The time has come to bring this video to a close, and my concluding thoughts are that wife swap is proof we live in a simulation. I mean, these people are proof. There's no way they just occur naturally. This whole show is just so bizarre. If there's another show or something that makes you feel this way, let me know in the comments and I'll check it out. Maybe I'll make a video on it. If you want to check out some of the other videos on my channel, feel free to stick around. Or if you want to look at my social media or merch, I have links in the description. Thank you all for watching and have a great rest of your day.
Oh, every night is like a daze. But oh, I'm feeling crazy as I know I'm running late. Let's wait just one more day. I know I'm running away from moment.